In the book, It Doesn't Have to Be Crazy at Work, serial entrepreneur and founder of Basecamp, Jason Fried talks about the idea that time and attention are best spent in large bills. You see, for most people out there, the clock strikes 7 p.m. and you look back at your work day to see that you are stressed out, you're tired, and you still have so much more to do, and your work day feels rather unfulfilling, and your most important work still needs your attention. It's still undone. So what happened? How did it all happen like that? If all you do is just look back at your calendar, the answer is right there. The reason why your workday feels stressful and a never-ending saga is because your hours were not spent in large bills. You split your time and your attention between important work and other stuff like email and phone and text and IM and social media. You were constantly going back and forth between these things, splitting your time and attention between these things. You see, a fractured hour isn't an hour. It's a mess of minutes. It's a bad input, and you can't really do meaningful work with bad time input. This is a really important concept to get. A fractured hour isn't an hour. What that means is if you have 60 minutes of time, that time, if it's fractured, if you fracture the time and if you fracture their attention, isn't really an hour anymore. It's just a mess of minutes. You see, if you try to break up 60 minutes into different ways, you will find that it might be equal time, but it's different. Let's say you work on something uninterrupted for 60 minutes. Now let's compare that to working on something for 12 minutes, then taking 30 seconds to check your email, then 9 minutes and taking 30 seconds to check your IM, and then 13 minutes of work and then another 30 seconds of phone, and then 17 minutes of work and another 30 seconds of social media, and another 7 minutes of work. The total time is still 60 minutes, but what you're getting out of that is much, 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 much lower. Or you can say 10 minutes of work and 1 hour, 1 minute of email, and 10 minutes of work and 1 minute of just checking IM just for a little bit, or 10 minutes of work and just checking your phone just a little bit, or 10, 11 minutes of work and just checking your social media or your Facebook for just a minute, or 15 minutes of work just checking your sales page. You know, all those little checks, just checking here, just checking there. Yeah, the total time you spent working was 60 minutes. But effectively, that time has been fractured. Your work has been punctuated by all of these little fractures in your attention and time. And that is why equal time, just because you spent 60 minutes working does not mean you created 60 minutes worth of work output. The number of minutes might be equal, but the output is going to be drastically different. The uninterrupted 60 minutes will give you 4 to 5 times the value compared to work punctuated by other stuff. You're thinking to yourself, hey, it's not a big deal to check my email just a little bit, or check my stats just a little bit, or check my phone just a little bit, or check my Twitter just for a little bit. But what you're doing is you're killing your attention momentum, and you are creating deposits of attention residue in your mind, as Cal Newport would say in his book, Deep Work. So the number of minutes, even though you might have spent 60 minutes or even 65 minutes working, but if the 5 minutes in and out were checking this and checking that and checking this and checking that, you really killed that minute. Remember, time and attention are best spent in large bills. And if you're not spending it in large bills, you are just killing your productivity every single time. A quality hour is one uninterrupted 60-minute chunk of time, not 6-10 minutes punctuated by little checks here and there. It's like you take $100 bill and you tear it up, and then you say, hey, I'm going to tear up this $100 bill, and each of these pieces is still valuable. No, it's not. The $100 bill by itself, when it is intact, is very valuable. But once you tear it apart, the value of it diminishes dramatically, almost to the point where it has no value. So that's how you want to think about your time and your attention. One large bill of 60 minutes is much, much, much more valuable than 6 small bills of 10 minutes each. And you need that big chunk of focus time to do high quality work. Otherwise, you get nothing of high quality done all day long. So those small changes of times are like spare coins that don't really move the dial for you. As Drucker said in Effective Executive, even 1/4 of the working day, if consolidated in large time units, is usually enough to get the important things done. But even 3/4 of the working day are useless if they are only available as 15 minutes here and half an hour there. So even 1/4 of the day, if consolidated in large units of time, is enough to get the important things done. On the other hand, even 3/4 of a day is useless if available in 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there. Small driblets of time are not time at all, as Drucker would say. So if you want to have a high quality work day, as Jason Fried says, a quality day needs at least 4 60-minute chunks of uninterrupted time, not 24 10-minute chunks or 16 15-minute chunks. That only leads to low quality work, low volume of work, and stress, a lot of stress. So let me ask you this. When did you last have 3 or 4 or 6 completely uninterrupted hours in a whole working day? You probably haven't had that in a very long time. And that's exactly why I designed FocusBlocks.io, to give you large chunks of uninterrupted work time every single day. Focus blocks are hourly, deep focus work sessions guided by humans, and they're live. And there are no distractions allowed during your focus blocks. You see, I do 2 separate 3-hour focus blocks every single day, and I get more done than most people do in 16 hours. And that's why I am done with my work by 2 p.m. every day. Now, let me tell you a little bit about FocusBlocks.io, but also let me tell you that the Focus Blocks pricing goes up forever after this week ends. So now is the time to join for the lowest price you ever get for Focus Blocks. Okay, so let me tell you a little more about FocusBlocks.io. How many of us know exactly what we should be doing to achieve our goals, but for some reason just don't end up doing those things? We have great ideas, but we get stuck in procrastination, overwhelm, and analysis paralysis, which leads to a lot of wasted time every single day. We feel scattered, disorganized, and all over the place. We lack structure and accountability and have trouble following through on what we say we are going to do. And this pattern repeats itself every day, day in and day out. It doesn't have to be like this. Introducing Focus Blocks, the ultimate productivity tool for creators, entrepreneurs, and knowledge workers of every kind who use their brains to create value in this world. Using the proven science of live, real-time, human-to-human accountability, we can turbo boost your productivity within an hour. Here is how it works. First, identify the times when you intend to do your most important work, and then book 1 hour long live focus blocks from our calendar inside the members area. Second, simply show up for your live focus block. Every focus block is guided by a live trained focus guide and conducted over live Zoom video call with participants from around the world. We recommend you keep your camera on because it builds in an additional level of accountability, but if you want to keep the camera off, that's okay too. For the first few minutes, the focus guide will direct everyone to remove all distractions and ask everyone to make commitments on what they will be working on during the focus block. All done via chat or in small breakout rooms on Zoom. Now, your focus guide will officially start the focus block work session. Minimize your Zoom window and open your work window. With clear intention and commitment, you get to work on your most important task. Everyone on the call is on mute, so you don't hear a pin drop. Allow yourself to lose your sense of time and just immerse yourself in your work. The focus block work session usually lasts for 47 to 53 minutes, but you don't have to worry about keeping time because your guide keeps the time. And when the time is up, your focus guide will use soft sounds to let you know that the focus block work session is done. You report on your progress on Zoom, via chat, or in small breakout rooms. You celebrate your victories, and then your focus guide will guide you through some scientifically proven relaxation exercises and stretches before the focus block is done. Now, having accomplished your most important work for the day, you can now start another focus block right after, or you can go on with your day. Your choice. The more focus blocks you do every day, the more goals you accomplish. So we recommend you do as many focus blocks as possible, and that's why we give you unlimited access to focus blocks. Your focus blocks become your cornerstone ritual, keeping you on track and shortening the gap between where you are and where you want to be. As a result of just showing up for focus blocks, you finally start doing the things you always knew you should be doing. With this newfound structure and clarity, you will accomplish more goals in less time and consistently stack wins by focusing on your highest impact activities. Don't go it alone anymore. Use focus blocks to get real-time human accountability and consistently turn your goals and dreams into concrete accomplishments you are proud of. Join Focus Blocks today.